something is wrong, you can feel it. Not in the world around you, in yourself. Every morning you wake up, the same weight is sitting on your chest, the same frustration, the same anger, the same list of things that aren't fair. And every night, you go to sleep having changed nothing. Just talked about it, just complained about it, just survived another day. You tell yourself tomorrow will be different, but tomorrow comes, and the cycle repeats. Here's what nobody is telling you. You are not stuck because of bad luck. You are not stuck because life is unfair. You are not stuck because of other people. You are stuck because of one habit, one quiet, invisible, deadly habit that you practice every single day without even realizing it. And that habit is costing you everything: your time, your energy, your relationships, your future. The ancient Stoics discovered this truth over 2,000 years ago. Not in a classroom, not in a comfortable life, in war, in slavery, in exile, in loss. And what they found changed the course of history. What they found can change the course of your life. But first, you need to understand something uncomfortable, something most people will never accept about themselves. The question is, are you ready to hear it? In 1965, a psychologist named Martin Seligman ran an experiment. He placed dogs in a chamber, applied mild electric shocks. At first, the dogs tried to escape. They jumped, they scratched, they pushed, but the chamber was locked. There was no way out. So eventually, they stopped trying. Then something strange happened. Seligman opened the chamber. The exit was right there, clearly visible, completely accessible. The dogs didn't move. They just lay down and accepted the pain. He called it learned helplessness. The idea that when a living creature faces pain it cannot control, it eventually stops believing that anything it does will matter. Now here's the question that should bother you. How many of us are those dogs? How many of us have been shocked by life, by failure, by disappointment, so many times that we stop trying to escape, and instead we complain? Because complaining feels safer than trying. Complaining feels easier than changing. Complaining gives us someone to blame that isn't ourselves. But here's what Seligman also discovered. Learned helplessness is not permanent. It is learned, which means it can be unlearned. The dogs who escaped were not stronger than the others. They were not luckier. They simply had one experience, just one, of realizing their actions could create change. That one moment rewired everything. One decision, one shift, one moment of choosing action over complaint. That is all it takes. But to get there, you first need to understand exactly what complaining is doing to your brain. And what it's doing is far darker than you think. Your brain has a feature, not a bug, a feature. It is called the negativity bias. For thousands of years, your ancestors lived in a dangerous world. Predators, famine, disease, war. So the brain evolved one core rule. Bad information is more important than good. A rustle in the bushes could be a lion. Miss it once, you die. So the brain learned to prioritize threats, to remember pain longer than pleasure, to scan for danger before opportunity. This kept your ancestors alive. But here is the problem. You are not living in a jungle. You are living in an office, in an apartment, in a city, and your brain, still running that ancient software, is treating your difficult boss like a lion, treating your unpaid bills like a predator in the dark, treating every inconvenience like a matter of survival. And every complaint you make feeds that system. Every time you say, "This is terrible," nothing ever works out. "People always let me down." Your brain nods and says, "Noted, threat confirmed." Stay alert. And it rewires itself to find more threats, more reasons to complain, more evidence that life is against you. Neuroscientists call this neural pathway reinforcement. The thoughts you repeat become the roads your brain travels automatically. Complain for a week, it becomes easier. Complain for a month, it becomes natural. Complain for a year, it becomes your personality. And here is the cruelest part. You start attracting people who also complain. You build a life surrounded by negativity and call it reality, when in truth, it is just a habit. A deeply ingrained, completely reversible habit. The Stoics knew this long before neuroscience had a name for it. And one man proved it in the most extreme way imaginable. A man who had every right to complain, but chose something else entirely. His name was Epictetus, and he was born with nothing, not poor, nothing. He was born a slave, no name of his own, no rights, no freedom, no future, just property. He belonged to a man named Epictetus, a wealthy, powerful Roman official, and Epictetus was cruel. One day, to demonstrate his power, he grabbed Epictetus by the leg and began to twist. Slowly, deliberately. The people around watched in silence. Epictetus looked at his master, completely calm, and said quietly, "You are going to break it." Epictetus twisted harder. "Did I not tell you," Epictetus said, "that you would break it?" The leg snapped. And Epictetus did not scream, did not beg, did not complain. He simply continued, because somewhere in that broken body lived an unbroken mind. He had already decided something that most free people never decide, that his circumstances did not own him, that pain could reach his body, injustice could reach his life, but no one, no master, no emperor, no amount of suffering could reach his mind without his permission. He later wrote, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." Think about what that means. This man, in chains, with a broken leg, owned by another human being, was practicing a level of mental freedom most of us will never touch. He didn't complain about his master. He didn't spend his nights cursing the life he was given. He observed, he studied, he thought. And when he finally gained his freedom, he didn't just survive. He became one of the most powerful thinkers in all of human history. His words influenced kings. His philosophy shaped empires. His ideas are still changing lives. 2,000 years later, a slave who refused to complain outlasted every emperor who ever owned him. Now ask yourself something honest. What is your excuse? So now you know the truth. Complaining is not harmless. It is not venting. It is not relief. It is a slow poison that you are choosing every single day. But knowing is not enough. Because here is what nobody tells you about breaking a deep habit. You cannot just stop. You need to replace. The Stoics didn't just say, "Don't complain." They gave the mind something else to do. Something stronger. Something more powerful than the urge to complain. They called it asterisk, the dichotomy of control. Ask. And it is the simplest, most life-changing idea you will ever encounter. It goes like this. Every single thing in your life falls into one of two categories: things you control and things you don't. That's it. Two categories, nothing else. Asterisk what you control: your thoughts, your actions, your effort, your attitude, your response. Asterisk what you don't control. Asterisk other people's behavior, the economy, the weather, the past, what people think of you. Now here is the Stoic rule. Spend everything on what you control. Spend nothing on what you don't. Every complaint, every single one, is about something outside your control. Think about it. My boss is unfair. Outside your control. The economy is destroying me. Outside your control. Nobody understands me. Outside your control. And yet, these are the exact things we spend the most energy on. We argue with them. We fight them. We lose sleep over them. We build our identity around them. While the things we actually control, our skills, our discipline, our daily actions, sit completely untouched. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, facing wars on every border, wrote this in his private journal. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength, not comfort, not happiness, not fairness. Strength, because that is what this practice builds. Not a perfect life, a powerful response to an imperfect one. But there is one final step, the step most people skip, the step that actually locks all of this in place permanently. There is a Latin phrase, 2 words. The Stoics lived by it completely. Amor fati. Ask, it means love of fate. Not accepting what happens, not tolerating what happens. Loving it. Every setback, every failure, every painful chapter. Welcoming it as the exact thing that was meant to shape you. Friedrich Nietzsche, who studied the Stoics deeply, wrote, "My formula for greatness is amor fati, not merely to endure what is necessary, but to love it." This is where everything changes. Because when you practice amor fati, complaining becomes impossible. You cannot love something and complain about it at the same time. You cannot welcome your struggle and resent it simultaneously. The moment you shift from resistance to acceptance, from complaint to curiosity, your entire nervous system responds differently. Your mind stops fighting reality and starts working with it. Think about the last great challenge you faced, the thing that felt unbearable. The moment you thought, "I cannot get through this." You got through it, and somewhere on the other side, you were different, stronger, clearer, more capable. That difficulty was not punishment. It was construction. Every hard moment, building something in you that comfort never could. The Stoics didn't promise a life without pain. They promised something better. A mind that pain cannot destroy. A spirit that circumstances cannot own. A version of you that doesn't need life to be easy, to be powerful. So here is where you stand right now. You have 2 choices. You can leave this video and return to the habit, the complaints, the frustration, the cycle that changes nothing. Or you can make one decision, starting today, starting this moment, that your energy belongs only to what you control, that your words will build, not destroy, that your struggles are not obstacles to your story, they are your story. Epictetus was a slave who became a legend. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire and still found peace. Not because life gave them easy roads, but because they walked hard ones, without complaining, with their eyes forward and their minds free. That same road is open to you. It always was. Stop complaining, start building, and watch how quickly everything changes. If this reached something in you, you already know what to do. Before you go, I want to ask you something, and I want you to answer honestly in the comments below. What is the one thing us cowards could complain about most in your life? Your job, your relationships, your financial situation, or something else entirely? Write it below, because sometimes just writing it down is the first step to letting it go. I read every comment, every single one. Now, if this video changed something in you, even slightly, even 1%, then you already know this channel is different. We don't do motivation that fades by morning. We go deeper. We go to the roots. So if you are not subscribed yet, hit that button right now, because what's coming next will go even deeper than this. Next, we are going to talk about something the Stoics called memento mori, the practice of remembering death, not to fear it, but to finally start living. Most people avoid this topic completely because it makes them uncomfortable, but the ones who face it change everything. That video is already waiting for you. Don't miss it.